This is a video response to two reviews of Doctor Who's Season 6 premiere, The Impossible Astronaut. The first review I'm going to talk about was kind of rude. And it's really not a review so much as a rant, but I don't understand the post. I'm not going to read the post because I don't know where it is, but I will tell you the gist of the post. Pretty much the whole post was saying that Doctor Who should be cancelled like it was in 1989 with at the end of the Seventh Doctor's run. He's angry at the fan base for calling him a hater by saying that, and he thinks the show's on his way out. Okay, let's start with you being angry at the fan base for calling you a hater. I have to be honest, I was a hater until like December because I didn't like Doctor Who. I didn't want anything to do with Doctor Who because I didn't give it a chance. I mean, you might have given it a chance, and that's why you wrote that post. But you shouldn't go so far as to say the show should be canceled. Anyway, the fan base is going to call you a hater if you say the show should be canceled. You should expect that because they're just trying to protect one of their favorite things. Whovians, just like, every other fan base, is going to protect the object of their, you know what I mean, what they're interested in. They're going to protect it. It's no different with, celebrity fan bases like the Archangels or, Word Nerds or anything else. It's not going to be different. If you insult something, and there is a following, you will have retaliation. You have to be aware of that before you post something, especially so kind of sinister, that the show should be canceled. They're gonna call you a hater, no matter what. If you say that their show should be canceled, they're not gonna like you for saying that. I mean, you gotta realize that. I love Doctor Who now. I love it now because I gave it a chance. I watched the show, and pretty much I watched the season 1 through 5 in less than a month. All of them. I got so obsessed. I was like crazy at one point. Like in December of 2010, I got really, my brother was watching Doctor Who, and then I'm just like, I have nothing better to do. It was like it was like Christmas night or something, and I was just like really, really bored. I just woke up because I was feeling really sick, and then I was watching TV and with my brother, and then he's just like, "Do you know what you're watching?" And I said, "No, but it's cool." And then he's just like, "You're watching Doctor Who," and I said, "No, I'm not." And then he says, "Yeah, apparently you like Doctor Who." And then I'm just like, "Wow." And then I started watching more of it and more of it, and I'm just like, this show was actually really, really good. I really, really liked it because I'm not trying to insult anybody here, but it's a very intelligent and creative show. It's probably the most creative and original show on TV right now. You have to have a brain to understand it, but the writers of the show try to make it understandable to younger viewers, as well as people who aren't that smart. You have to be intelligent to understand the show completely, though. Everyone's intelligent, in my opinion. Anyway, let's go on to the next thing. Kind of these two are wrapped in. You're saying that the show is on its way out and that it should be canceled like it was in 1989. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you just saying that because you didn't like the first episode? And you shouldn't go so far as, like I just said this, you shouldn't go so far as to say that the show should be canceled because you didn't like the first episode. That's not right. And you're saying how the fandom doesn't realize that their show is going out. I don't know what you're talking about. I just told you, I watched season 1 through 5 in less than a month. From December to the end of January. From the end of December to the end of January. I don't know what you're talking about, because, like, I can understand that you're saying, like, you didn't like it. Okay, if you didn't like it, I don't have a problem. Just say you didn't like the first episode. Don't say that it should be canceled. That's too harsh. And actually kind of insulting and rude. Because I it's just you, really. There are like maybe 5 other people in the whole world that I've seen. No, like 5. Like 3 other people in the whole world that I've seen. And I've talked to a lot of people about this show who said they didn't like the first episode. 3. You're like the only one. I don't know what you're talking about. What was the problem with the first episode? Tell me, because you didn't write it in the post, the like freaking page post. You didn't say anything that you didn't say why you didn't like the episode. Was it the fast pacedness? Was it confusing? Did you just not like how it was said? Was it the beginning confusing when the doctor started regenerating and then he was shot again? Are you new to the show and you don't know what that means? Because I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, let's start with the fast pacedness. It was deliberately set up like that because they wanted to make sure that the viewer knew this was a new season, knew that this was different, and knew that this season was going to be epic. And really, the introduction to the show was. It really was. Like, it gave a lot of background information, and then it gave a lot of unneeded information. And, like, I swear that when River said that there's a worse day coming for me, they weren't going to tell it in the first episode, but they did. And I was just like, wow, this must mean something. It makes you think. That's why you have to be intelligent to understand the show. It makes you think. Because it's just like, it gets your creative mind working, and then you're just like, oh wow, now I realize it. Stephen Moffat said that he deliberately set up these episodes like this, and he's giving information in these first 2 episodes that are very, very important for the rest of the season. I keep saying series. Oh my gosh, I'm going British. That are very important for the rest of the season. And you have to pay attention to the first 2 episodes to really understand it. I've watched it like 3 times and realized something different every time I watched it. And if you actually paid attention to it, it was really, really good. I mean, the random revelation at the end of the episode where Amy said she was pregnant. Yeah, you might have been confused and thrown off at that, like, what? Because that time, but you gotta think, why did she pick that time to say it? Why? Why would she say it now? Why did she tell the doctor? Did she tell Rory? You have to start thinking. You have to think to actually understand the episode. Because there are so many important things in these first 2 episodes that you have to pay attention to, and you can't just brush off as, oh, it's an episode, I don't like it. It's the episode, I don't like it. Okay, the fast-pacedness was deliberately there for a reason. You have to realize that they came to America. They have to figure something out. They have to make this like, this is a new season. This is going to be epic. This season is going to be fabulous. And there was like something on during the show, I don't remember what it was, that said, when you see kids running around with sonic screwdrivers, you know you can't let them down. They're trying to make every episode the very best they can. So anyway, what was confusing? If there was something confusing for you, why didn't you say it and ask for help from one of the Whovians? I could help you. I'm happy to help you. I'm really happy. Why don't you just tell me? Why don't you just tell somebody what the problem is? Like, if you didn't understand why it was so fast-paced, maybe there's an actual reason for that. They wanted to make sure that they knew this was a new season, and it was going to be fabulous. They wanted to, let's say that there was a problem, like when the doctor started regenerating at the very beginning, and then he was shot again before he could regenerate. Maybe you didn't understand that, or maybe maybe it threw you off or something. I don't know. So let's wait for part 2 of this, and then we'll be done with this. So this is part 1.